MER.
And I'm Ben.
And this is the Somewhere Sessions. I don't know the limits that I could test. I don't have a frame of reference for what to expect when I'm alone. Talking to the mirror to meet someone new. Saw myself as someone who knows what to do when I'm alone. That's when I'll think about the last time I let you down. I said I wanna be alone. I am fine on my own, my own, my own. My own, my when I said the piece I could no longer keep. That's when everything changed, and I went to sleep. I woke up alone. Cause what if there are secrets that only you'll keep? I'm not crushed by the silence. It hurts worse when we speak. And what if I fail at faith and never take the leap? I don't wanna be alone. I'm not fine on my own, my own, my own, my own, my own. I'll clean up the blood, but the stain still remains. Convince myself till I find the lie I'll explain when I'm not alone.
Oh my gosh, that's a horrifying question as well.
I love the Sunrise album by Norah Jones. I think it's called something else, so that's hilarious. That's my favorite album of all time. Ben and I have been really inspired recently by a couple albums. Absolutely by Dijon, which is like why we're doing the song from it today. Just the production on that album, and then 22 A Million by Bon Iver. Those two albums have that sort of experimental folk thing that I think is really cutting edge in terms of production, but also lyrically and sound quality wise.
I mean, the Beatles, yeah, going along with the Beatles theme, like, I feel like so many people regard them as, like, geniuses and everything they made was perfect, but I, like, watched that documentary, it's like the Disney documentary, and it's just, like, cool to see how everything they made was, like, so imperfect, and they were just kind of, like, making it up on the fly, and, like, they were geniuses, but it was very much, like, not as calculated, and like I don't know, there are like too many to list like a specific one, but like you can just hear people like talking in the background of a bunch of the songs, and like I don't know, I just love that because that also kind of like ties in with what Meredith was saying with like Bon Iver and Dijon, where it's like these artists that you can kind of like sometimes make into like not real people, but then when you like actually learn about their creative process, they're just very normal, and like their art is like just as imperfect. Depends on what you mean by write. I think in terms of like song structure and chords and lyrics and melody, that's like Meredith, but I think that like for any song, like when it really comes to life is in like the like performance and recording, and like we both have like pretty much like 50-50, I would say, influence
definitely
on like the production and the texture of the
yeah
songs.
We get like our process, if I can get at that, is when we get into a room, we like to set up a mic in the center of the room, and once we kind of have the basics of like I'll play guitar, or Ben will play guitar, and we'll kind of carve out the initial structure of the song, and I'll do like a scratch vocal to work around. We'll set up a mic in the center of the room, and then we just like record an unbelievable amount of layers of what we call kind of like breathing life into the song. I guess we don't call it that, but like that's what we're doing.
No, we call it that.
We definitely call it that. But we'll record vocal layers on vocal layers, screaming. We'll like toss his piano around. We'll bang on desks, and like his roommates literally love it. But yeah, we just like the production to feel very real and very human, and that's kind of what we're getting at with not just what I'm getting at with the lyrics and such, but also then I think that the production is really complementary to that.
Yeah.
That thing.
So I think in terms of like the songwriting, it's like all Meredith, but in terms of like the production recording, it's like I mean, like every time we record, I feel like it's cool because like I make my own music, and I think when you do your own stuff, you can kind of get just like into these rhythms of like, oh, this is something that I did before that worked and I liked it, so I'm just gonna like do that but change it a little bit. But like working with Meredith, she'll like describe a like specific sound, and I'm like, I would never think of. And I feel like sometimes we're just like sitting there for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, how do I create this sound that you're like describing to me in very abstract terms? So just like working with someone who like has the combination of like a clear vision of what they're going for, but also like spontaneity is like very like really inspiring.
Yeah, I'm big on like discovery in the room, and that's something that Ben is really good at because he works really quickly and does like pick up on the weird abstract things that I'll be describing. There's like, it feels like an element of synesthesia almost, where there's like things, you know, you hear things and then you're able to visualize those things once you hear them, and then kind of they come out and I'll describe them in, like he's saying, really weird abstract terms, and then Ben is like without fail always able to execute those things, even if it takes like a few tries of describing it. But yeah, that speaks to his like process of being able to work really quickly.
Yeah.
But Ben is the reason I like make music, because we're friends from college, and when I was a senior, we were buddies, and I would go over there, and he was making music with his own band, but not really venturing into making a ton of other people's music. And so he was like, we should make something. And I, at that point, had kind of only ever written like lyrics in my notes app and hadn't really done much. And then we made, right before I graduated and left to move here to New York, back in Waco, Texas, we made like the demo of the first song I ever released. And I think that I didn't understand the world of possibilities that there were with production and like recording music, and then Ben like swung that door wide open for me and made me realize that it was not only a possibility to kind of make things come to life the way that you hear them in your head and then beyond, but then do that as a career. And so it's like fun to get to still work together and play live shows. We had this like moment, we went home to tour in Texas for a little bit, we did a few shows, and we were on stage and having this realization that we were playing like these songs that we'd recorded in Texas and then also New York, and then back here in like a band of our friends, and it was just like a sweet moment to realize how far like the whole project had come.
Sweet. So that was a song called When I'm Alone, and it's the first single off my new project called Maybe I'm the Same. And this next one's a cover by Dijon called Big Mike's, and this album was really influential for me while I was writing this EP, because he does this experimental folk thing, really live room sounds, that really inspired me and Ben while making this, so I wanted to sing this song. Should I come and get you? I might drop to
Sweet. So yeah, this last song is called Come Clean, and it's the last song on my EP. And I wrote it with my friend here in New York. Her name's Melissa. And yeah, we kind of wrote it about, you know, how you can feel super lonely, and even in a huge city like this, and how you just kind of crave community and, you know, other people, but then also kind of how you lose yourself sometimes through all of that. And yeah, it's called Come Clean. Disposing of the dirty sheets, the cost that I will bear, so that I'll no longer sleep alone, but I'm still scared. The revolving door of guests bleeds the safety of the home, but seeing with your eyes closed is a threat to being known. Your naked Polaroids that you have hanging on the fridge, you open me to feel for warmth, but cold is all there is. You're hoping that the showers that April will bring, that have you scrubbing like a fool, will help you to come clean. Thoughts come in like April showers. May I tell you how I feel about changing winds and blooming flowers? I'm growing, but it's getting old. I'm in the mood to waste my time. Take the day off from the wanting. The season of my life went by, falling for the winter months and waiting for the sun to rise, falling for the letting go to creep its way toward morning. The night comes quicker with each blink. I shut my eyes to beat you there. I'll tell you the truth that I tell myself, that like the moon I'll fade away, and finally come clean. Yeah, thanks. The bee. The bee.
The bee was great.
Ben full-bodied that bee.